Hello everyone. Today I'm just going to play some rapid games, some 10-minute games, and I will try to show you how does the international master think during the game. So let's maybe try to find the first opponent. Okay, I have got opponent from Georgia, FIDE Master. Let's play maybe the Caro-Kann. Okay, opponent plays d3. So d3 is not the most popular move. More popular, of course, is the d4. But most likely my opponent is going to play some kind of King's Indian attack. So this is just a reverse version of King's Indian defense. It works against French, against Caro-Kann, and against Sicilian. Okay, and what I need to do at this position, because white developed slowly, so I think I need to fight for the center. By the way, this is the first principle that you're supposed to do when you play. The first principle in the opening that you should follow. So I'm just moving my pawn into the center. Bishop goes to d6. Now it's a time to develop minor pieces. Okay, opponent plays d4. I have to admit I do not know that variation, that white plays d4. Okay, now what can I do? If I capture here, knight captures. Of course, I have to consider what happens if I get rid of the tension. Pawn captures, knight takes e4, and now my bishop is under attack. So at the first glance doesn't look that great. If I take at the d4, in case knight takes, I think I can just develop. It's not a problem. But in case I capture, pawn captures here, maybe I have got c5. But then still white can play knight to e4. No, okay, I think I will. Okay, what else I can play? I can move my bishop to g4. Also an option. I do not like it that much, but yeah, what looks the best? I have got a feeling that this is the best that I can do. Okay, opponent captures here, and now maybe because after c5 I'm afraid of knight e4, so maybe I will just develop my bishop. I'm pinning the knight, so my d4 pawn is not hanging. In case opponent decides to capture at c6, I will take it back with the knight. Okay, bishop e2. So you can see that it's hanging, and after c5, knight takes d4, I think it works for the opponent because it's a discovered attack. So I think it's not a good idea for me to do that. Okay, let's maybe capture that pawn. I know I will end up with the isolated pawn, but okay, now I will exchange it. I think I have to go queen to e7. After knight e7, there was very annoying knight to f5. Okay, yeah, knight f5. It's a very, very annoying move. But what can I do with this? Okay, I think I will just take it. And now, what, maybe g6. G6 is maybe the move that prevents, or knight e7, or just maybe simply knight e7. I develop a piece, and at the same time, I'm stopping knight f5. I see that this is also another dangerous move. So maybe I will play a6. Later, I want to develop my knight to the c6 square. Okay, so let's play knight to c6. I have got an isolated pawn, so I should think about pushing that pawn forward or about creating some kind of attack with minor pieces. But I see that opponent is trying to take advantage of the fact that my bishop is not developed. And his idea is in case I capture, knight captures c6, and it's a discovered attack, my bishop is hanging. So I have to be extremely careful. I can just simply take it. Then what? Opponent captures with the knight, I take c4. Is there any discovered attack? And in case I capture, what else opponent can do? Bishop captures. Then what? G7 is under attack. If I capture, bishop takes G7. It is also possible. Okay, what else I can do? I can castle queenside. This is an alternative idea. In case opponent takes, I take, takes at c6, b takes c6. Okay, it does make some sense. And I think But I don't know why I have got an impression that it's not bad. Here, kingside castle. Kingside castle. Pawn takes, maybe I can take it back. And later I have got some kind of checks. No, you know what? I think according to my calculation, this is the safest move. And I think I can take it here. So let's just do that. Okay, so now opponent is attacking here and attacking here. So of course I have to, and also my bishop is under attack. I have to move my bishop because I wanna save it, but I don't wanna go to the f8. Okay, f8 and c7, those are like my two candidates. If I go to f8, it doesn't look very active, but maybe later I have got this move and bishop g7. Okay, it does make some sense, but if I go here, knight goes to g5, trying to attack me immediately. Is it that scary? Maybe a little bit. Okay, and what happens after this move? Knight takes g7. Most likely I will go here, or I will capture first here and later go there. g2 is under attack. Let's maybe try this one. Definitely my opponent has got an initiative. Opponent is creating threats, but of course that doesn't mean that I'm gonna resign. Position is completely open. Open positions, that means that there are no pawns in the center. So in such a position, the side who has got more active pieces has got the advantage. Also, another important principle is that bishops are more important than knights. So maybe a good idea after knight takes g7 would be to capture at e3 and later just play rook g8, skewer here and here. Okay, knight g5. Opponent is still attacking here anyway. So what can I do with this? I can just maybe simply take it. Simple solution, and now I can take it at this place. So there is no longer tactical motive. And I think I can just play f6. Can I play f6 or not? Pawn is hanging. How can I save it? I can go here, I can go there. I don't want to play rook f8 because knight captures h7. Knight e5, f4. Yeah, maybe just simply this move. Okay, and now opponent wants to get it here and capture here. If I play g6, knight takes, king takes, knight d5, that might be a problem. So I need to find another solution here. And I have got a feeling that that might be a good move. Because I create a threat, I'm also saving bishop, which is of course very important. And in case opponent captures here, I have got an option to capture here. Or I can also go knight to d4 check and later rook g8. But I think the simple solution bishop takes g2 might be better. Okay, here. Protecting this one. If I go there, knight takes here, rook goes back to g8. I think I can do that. There is also knight b6, but I will just move my king away. And I think this is not a big problem. Okay, 3 minutes, 49 seconds. What opponent is going to do here? Of course, there is an X-ray, knight and the king. This opponent also has to consider this. But I think after this move, I cannot play any discovered attack because my rook is hanging. So I think after this move I would just play rook g8. Okay, knight b6. I don't have that much choice. This is the only legal move. And now I have to move my king again, one of those two places. So I think I prefer this one. In case opponent captures, I will take at e6 and I'm winning. In case opponent captures here, yeah, I think just the idea that I mentioned earlier, rook to g8 should be fine. Skewer, and also opponent the b2 is hanging. What else my opponent can do? I don't believe that move like knight c5 might be good, because I will just, I think, get that pawn. And there is a big problem. Okay, knight goes there, so as I calculated, I will just move my rook away. After rook e7, white could go knight f5. Okay, and now that pawn is under attack. But I think that, okay, should I take a b2 first or what? No, maybe I will take it here. So you can see that now there are two pawns that are attacked. Okay, should I take this one or should I take here? You know, the principle says that if there are bishops on the board, it's good if there are some imbalances. So I will play it here, and now I have got 2 against 1 on this in that area. I see, of course, that opponent has got the pass pawn on the f2, but I wanna create some imbalances because bishop is definitely more mobile than the knight. It can move quickly from one side to another, and this is what am I trying to do. Okay, captures here. By the way, I think there is a check and here. No, but it doesn't give me that much. So let's just take another pawn. Would be nice to get this one. Maybe I can move my bishop to d4. Is there something wrong with this move? Okay. And now you can also see that knight is quite restricted. It cannot move. But yeah, but the problem is that I also cannot cannot do that much. Okay, I think I will just go b5. I will try to use my pawn majority. Knight goes to c5. So what? Should I push it forward? Okay, now of course I have to move my bishop somewhere. Probably this is gonna be here. Rook d7, I will just move my king back. Yeah, I think I want to go there, because after this move there is potential knight d6 and some kind of fork. So I don't want to do that. And now the question is, my two pawns or opponent pass pawn? Who's gonna be faster? Bishop should be superior to the knight. Okay, what opponent after this move? Okay, maybe I don't have that much choice here. Capture or not to capture? I don't want to capture, I don't want to take it, but on the other hand I will lose something here. So let's just take it. And now I will try to maneuver my knight into a more active position, which is, where should I go? d4. Yeah, but king e3, and then what? Maybe knight has to go to b5. Also, opponent has got a knight and the rook, so I need to pay attention to the Arabian checkmate. In case knight is at c6 and rook is at a7. I cannot forget about it. So what to do right now? Let's play here. Maybe I try to move my rook and capture that pawn. And then b pawn will become the pass pawn. Oh, I see also another idea. After this move, I can go here, and there is a potential sacrifice because there is a tactical motive of a fork. But right now, I see that pawn's hanging, so I'll just push that pawn forward. King cannot go there because there is knight d6. My king is a little bit misplaced. This is the only problem that I have got in this position. Okay, let's play here. In case opponent plays a3, I think I can take it. King takes, I can go a2. And it's, I'm not sure, is that, okay, rook goes there. So what, take it or not? Okay, let's just capture that. I have got two pass pawns, but my king is quite weak. Maybe it will be a good idea to put my rook behind. Okay, opponent is trying to enter with a king. I cannot allow him to do that, blocking it. Rook cuts off the king, so it cannot come closer. Okay, pawn moves forward. So what should I do right now? Yeah, maybe simply I will block it with my rook. I can try to capture that. Okay, should I? If I capture, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a draw. If I do not capture, if I go back, rook takes a5. If I play knight e4, takes here. Maybe this is my last try. This is maybe my last chance if I wanna play for a win in this position. Of course, I can agree for a draw, but if it is possible, wouldn't mind to win this. So takes here, king goes, king cannot go even to b5. Okay, now I have to move my king somehow. Let's go here. Let's activate, no, I cannot activate my king. Let's move my king here because there was knight d4. Okay, 45 seconds. There is no increment, unfortunately. Or maybe this move, and later I can push the b pawn forward. Or even better, here. And later knight b5. I have got funny idea. No, knight b5. Here, later knight. Yes, okay, I have got funny idea. King b3, knight b5. There are knights on the board, so tactics is still possible. King d3. Okay, I didn't consider this one, but let's try here. I'm removing the defender. Okay, and now I think I have to bring my king closer without... Ah, there is knight e6, king b6. Okay, I can still... But I have to move my rook away. Those forks, it's too dangerous. It's very easy to miss something when knights are on the board. Okay, but the good news is that opponent's time also is not that great. Okay, I'm protecting my knight. Okay, and I think we have got the draw in this position. Okay, so you see that it was okay, pretty interesting game. Okay, but we have got the rematch. Okay, let's play the d4. Maybe let's play c4, and I'm gonna play Queen's Gambit, but not the Catalan, not the opening that I usually play. Okay, but opponent plays the Tarrasch. Okay, let's start with knight f3, knight f6. If I'm not wrong, and I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong, knight f6 is a small inaccuracy because knight c6 is more accurate, because right now bishop g5 is a pretty powerful move. Of course, there is such a variation, but white is absolutely fine here, and I play e3. Okay, pawn goes to c4. Common idea how does white fight against this pawn is to go b3 and try to undermine that pawn, but before I'll do that, I would like to probably castle. Also, you know, I can undermine another pawn by playing here, but let's castle first. Okay, I castle. Queen c2 or not queen to c2. Queen a4 is also an option. Now let's play queen c2. Protecting the knight. It allows me also to go b3. Okay, knight e5. Now, very tempting move is f4. So Pillsbury's ring. Let's do that. Our opponent can take it. Maybe this is opponent's intention. Opponent wants to take it. And if I capture back, there is knight e4. Okay, so maybe that's the opponent's plan. If I capture here first, then what? Queen takes here, I take f6, pawn takes, and then I take it here. I would rather keep my knight at the e5, but in case I capture with a queen, there is knight e4. It's very annoying. That knight at the e4 is very annoying. Taking with the pawn, also knight e4. Should I be afraid of it? Or maybe I can just play bishop e7, rook e8, and bishop to somewhere to a3. Maybe no need to be afraid of this, but you know what? I will play here first. There was also f5. I could also consider f5, but I think it would be too risky. In case knight captures here, there is a potential f5 move. Because bishop at the e6 might be trapped a little bit. Okay, now opponent has to calculate this one, opponent has to calculate all of those moves. So a lot of candidate moves for the opponent. Opponent decided to play it here. Again, I don't want to take it here because knight e4, so I will capture the knight first. Bishop takes b2. If I take it here, opponent takes back, and if I'm not wrong, I'm down a pawn on the material. So what else I can do? I can capture here. Bishop takes. I capture there. Bishop takes. And if I take it back, queen takes here. And what? Opponent is up on the material, but opponent's king is very, very weak. And probably I will try to attack it. So I think I will go for that variation, because it will open opponent's king. Okay, so now as expected, I think I will take it. King captures, queen takes there. Okay, and now I told you that I'm down a pawn, but in my opinion that king is very weak, so I will use the rook lift. And I will try to create some problems to the king using my rook. Also, I will try to use my queen, and I have to find a way how can I involve my bishop also. Okay, so opponent is trying to stop it. So should I continue or not? Rook h3 doesn't really work because there is bishop. Rook here, does it make any sense? Not that much. I can also push that pawn forward. Let's maybe push it forward. f6 also looks quite scary. Another idea can be putting my bishop at f3 and I'm attacking a weakness. Okay, opponent is trying to stop my pawn. Okay. So how can I continue? Maybe it's not easy to checkmate the king with pieces that I have got. So how can I create some problems to the opponent? Let's play maybe here. So my pawn at the f5 will be safe. Maybe I will maneuver my... Okay, so king goes there, queen h6. Maybe I will maneuver my bishop first. Okay, so opponent is going for that pawn. And also d4 is hanging. Okay, so I have to admit that maybe it was not the great idea to go for those complications. But yeah, so what should I play? h3 or what else? Let's play h3. I want to move my rook into the open file. I have to create some threats to the opponent. Okay, so now opponent is trying to create some threats to me. Should I play here? Or should I just move my king away? Just to prevent... if I move my king away, I'll just avoid tactics. But if I go there, opponent plays somewhere, I can take it. Here I can go there. No, I don't think I want to go for this variation because my rook will be under attack. So I think that a good prophylactic move would be to move my king away. The question is where to go. Opponent offers me a draw. And to be honest, I do not know what to think about it. Is there anything that I'm missing here, or what's the problem? I will probably accept because I don't like my position. But see, when you have got an impression that you're losing, of course, it's a good idea to accept a draw if opponent offers you that. So okay, I will just take it. But it's very, very weird that opponent offers me a draw in this position. And according to the engine says it's minus 2.9 actually. So position is pretty bad. I do not understand why opponent offered me a draw. Okay, let's try to find another opponent. Also, I send a challenge for 10 minutes. Okay, opponent from Mozambique. Okay, let's play d5. And maybe I will play standard Queen's Gambit. Queen's Gambit declined. Knight goes to f6. Okay, g3. Okay, so opponent plays the Catalan. So opponent is using my openings against me. And now there are like different ways how black can play against it. I would probably play the most annoying one with bishop b4. This is very annoying, and now bishop e7. The purpose of this move is just to put that bishop here so white cannot develop knight to d2. That's the idea. And later I play c6. Okay, queen c2, opponent has to protect it. I think I will go knight d7. Knight c3. If I'm not wrong, because usually in case bishop would be at c1, white's supposed to play here and later e4. But the question is, can I capture that pawn? Because it's not protected. Let's just take it and let's see what's gonna happen. a4. Okay, so opponent is trying to stop me from playing b5, of course. The question is, can I play it or not? Another typical idea is to move knight to d5. Let's maybe play this move. In case opponent captures, I take it back, of course. After this move, I wanted to take it, and I remove that knight, and later I want to play b5 anyway. So I think that I'm able to save that pawn. You know, the question is, because there is no doubt that white has got some counterplay. No doubt about it. But the question is it enough counterplay for the opponent? So what now? The most natural move is bishop b7. Maybe opponent is trying to go somehow d5 to open the position like this. Okay, what are my other options? I can also play b4. Bishop goes back and later bishop to the a6. The question is, can I keep that pawn at the c4? That's the good question. Because after knight d2, if I go knight b6, there is a5. At least white hasn't got such a powerful attack, but I will lose that pawn. So b4 is one option. Bishop b7. Okay, let's calculate what happens after bishop b7. Pawn takes. White plays d5. If I capture, pawn captures. Should I be afraid of this? And now probably it will be a good idea to go bishop d6. It doesn't look that terrible. Of course, white has got some initiative, but I think I prefer that line over b4 and bishop a6. Takes, d5. Takes, bishop goes to d6. And this is what am I going to do. Okay, what opponent will try to do here? I mean, you know, in the Catalan, it happens sometimes that queen is attacking h7, bishop is attacking somehow on the diagonal, and white has got some kind of discovered attack, knight g5. And then there are two threats at b7 and at h7. But I do not see how does it work in this specific position. Because in case opponent plays e5, even in case opponent plays the move that prepares it, it gives me a time to defend that bishop. I can play queen c8 or I can play rook b8, maybe not, because a7 pawn will be not defended. But even queen c8. And I think I don't need to be afraid of that problem anymore. Okay, d5. So I expected captures and later d5. What is the reason that I'm not afraid that much of this move? Because I have got the c pawn. And I know that b5 pawn will be gone, but then I get a very strong pawn in the center. So I think that if I capture, pawn takes, probably bishop captures. Even if opponent captures here, I think it's not a bad position. Let's just take it like this. Okay, and now bishop captures d5. Knight g5 is not that scary. I will just take it, and bishop at the d5 is protected. Okay, pawn captures here. And I'm up a pawn on the material. Of course, it's pretty dangerous. Knight g5, there is an x-ray. There is a very powerful tactical motive pointing towards my queen. So I need to be really afraid of this. Okay, but what are my options? How can I react now? I can play bishop f6, offer an exchange. You're up, exchange. This is what does the principle say. I can play knight b6, but I really don't like that pin. Or I can just move my queen somewhere. For example, queen to c7. I'm moving out of that x-ray. Or queen to b6. I'm moving out of the x-ray, and at the same time I'm attacking the pawn at the b5. There is one thing I don't like about this move. It's that my knight at d7 is not protected, but I do not see So it's a, unprotected piece is a very common tactical motive, but I do not see any direct way what opponent can do to punish me for that. So queen to b6, in case, what opponent will do. In case opponent will knight g5, I would take it. Bishop takes d5, pawn takes, rook takes, knight is hanging, bishop is hanging. So there might be something. So maybe this is not the most optimal solution for me. So maybe because I don't want to leave my knight unprotected, maybe I will just simply go with queen to c7. So now, of course, that variation doesn't work, because in the end, captures, rook captures, I can just move my bishop, because it's not a fork, only one piece is under attack. What opponent can do. And I'm pretty sure that one possibility that I see, I can go queen b7, because it's attacking unprotected pawn, and it creates also potential problem here. This is one good move that I see. Another good move that improves my position is bishop to f6. You're up, exchange pieces. And especially if you can exchange very active pieces that your opponent has got, I think it would be fine. So okay, so this is also an option. Okay, what else? No, I think it's one of if white doesn't create any significant threat, I think I will play one of those two moves. Okay, now I see that this is hanging. So what, should I take or not? I think I will just take it, and now king is here, so king is a little bit exposed. I think I can check. Yeah, I think I can do that. So let's just take it. Check or bishop f6 first? Check it. If I check, knight c6 probably, then bishop to f6. Let's start with a check first. After this move, also b5 pawn is hanging. I cannot take it immediately because my bishop at e7. Okay, it's under attack. Okay, opponent goes there. And I think I will just use the idea that I was talking about, because I want to put my bishop on a very good diagonal. It neutralizes that bishop. And and also I want to probably bring my rook somehow. Okay, queen a4, protecting b5, and at the same time its c4 pawn is not protected. So what can I do? First idea is to go knight to b6. I think I will just play it. You see queen and the pawn. Okay, later that knight has got also an opportunity to go to the d5 square, and later to the e3. So there is a potential even fork or triple attack in this case. And maybe this is something that I will try to do. Okay, queen a5. Okay, I think I will just follow my idea. Bishop is also under attack. There is a fork threat. And don't forget that I'm up a pawn. a7 is well defended. Yeah, okay, I think that I control that what happens on the board, and I think now opponent completely missed the tactics, and opponent immediately resigns. Okay, let's try to find another opponent, this time 2400 from India. Okay, so Gamp Forest. Let's see. Okay, white plays c4. Let's maybe play e6, which is the French defense. my favorite opening. Okay, here. Let's play bishop to b4, which is called Winawer variation. Yeah, so I'm just pinning here. There is a threat that I will capture at the e4. e5 is the main line. I go with c5. This is the bishop d2. More common is a3. This is a3 is the main line, the most popular line that happens in the French. Idea of bishop d2 is to go knight to b5 and later knight to d6. So I'm gonna play knight e7. So after this move, I think I can exchange and I have got the time to castle. So my king is in a safe position. But this is a pretty popular sideline to go like this, and then I will just castle. And now knight d6, it's not that scary because I think I will later remove knight out of this place. Okay, c3. If I remember correctly, d takes c5 is an option, or f4. c3, what's the, okay, let's analyze what's the point. Opponent, of course, is protecting that pawn. Should I be afraid of this? Or maybe I can just simply play it here. Trying to put some pressure over that pawn, or just a6. Then opponent will play knight d6. And can I somehow remove that knight out of this place? What also crossed my mind is the idea to go bishop d7, and after knight to d6, queen to b6, and later knight to c8. And I can get rid of that knight as well and develop my pieces. And you know what? Maybe this is the way I like the most. Because also, if there is a chance, I wouldn't mind to exchange my light squared bishop, because the light square bishop is the biggest trouble for black in the French. The playing French defense without the light square bishop would be way easier. Okay, knight d6, of course I see that pawn is hanging. I can play bishop here, but I think I can go there. Should I be afraid of this move? Then I will take it. Knight takes here. Yeah, maybe I should be afraid of it. So what I can do? Two pawns are hanging. Maybe that bishop c6. I rejected this move, but maybe bishop c6 is protecting that. And after d takes c5, I have got knight to d7. Okay, so let's play it here. Because I cannot fight against this knight, or I could just capture also the d4 first, before I play queen to b6. Because in case two pawns are protecting that knight at the d6, that knight is called an octopus, because it can attack a lot of things. So yeah, it doesn't make that much sense for me to go knight to c8, because that knight will be well defended, cannot remove it. But now I think after bishop c6, okay, pawn is protected, maybe I can take it. I can go f6, trying to undermine that knight, undermine pawn that is protecting that knight. Maybe this is also the way. Opponent seems to be surprised a little bit. Okay, so what opponent can do here? h4, okay, so opponent decides to go for the attack. But okay, so I'm not gonna play here from the reason that I just explained you, but I will start with this move. I'm not afraid of that attack that much. And now probably I don't want to go there because it will ruin my pawn structure. Yeah, and the question is, should I go here directly, or should I first play queen b6 and later this move? Because if I go here, knight captures, queen captures, pawn goes here, h6. And my position is quite passive. maybe f6. Maybe a good idea would be to undermine that knight a little bit. Opponent goes here. I will play knight d7. Yeah, you see, maybe instead of removing that, because this is like a very strong outpost for the knight, but a good idea might be to use the fact that opponent is not that well developed. So let's try to undermine it a little bit. I think I can just get rid of that knight quickly. You see f4. f4 opens opponent's position a little bit. So I'm happy to see it. And now what? I can even take it here, and now knight f5. That looks even better. Okay, what else I can do? Queen b6. Does it give me anything? I don't think so. But if I take pawn takes, knight f5 takes, and what, rook takes f5, or pawn takes f5 maybe even. Or just queen to b6. Yes, because you see that now that pawn is well defended. So yeah, okay, let's just take it for sure. Yeah, opponent probably is thinking how to capture. And now for me the question is, should I go knight f5 or should I play knight c8? Knight c8, knight takes c8, queen takes c8, h5, h6, bishop d3, queen e8. If I go knight f5, takes, I can capture with the pawn, and that bishop is gonna be blocked. But on the other hand, my pawn structure is gonna be worth now, but I think I just go here. It's very important to block that bishop in the French. And I will, of course, try to capture back with the pawn. So now it's not so easy for opponent to attack me here. Okay, so now would be nice to get some counterplay. I wouldn't mind to, okay, let's just develop my queen. Queen is attacking something here. I also can later play bishop b5 and exchange the light square bishop. And this is the next thing that I'm going to do. I told you that playing French defense without the light square bishop is way easier for black. I can take it, but I have got a bad feeling about that sacrifice. So let's just develop my knight, putting some pressure over that pawn. And b2 pawn is still hanging. In case knight escapes somewhere, also e5 might be a big problem for the opponent, because the d4 pawn is pinned. Okay, capture at b. If I capture at this place, probably rook goes there, and what looks like my queen is trapped. So let's just develop my rook. At the same time, I create a threat to capture at the e5. And also I'm just stopping that pawn from moving forward. In case, and now take a look, because this is a funny thing. In case king goes, for example, here, after this move, rook f2 b1, I have got the f2 square for my queen. Okay, rook e1, opponent is protecting that. Okay, if I capture, opponent really wanted to keep king to protect it. So this move doesn't work anymore at this position. Here, maybe I should just go h6. It's just stops potential h6. Okay, let's just make the position more solid like this. Also, it stops knight g5, so I think I can later play rook to e6. Okay, king h1. Now I have to calculate this one. If I capture, because I have got that move later. So if I capture, rook goes there, I go here, rook takes here. And what happens? Okay, I do not lose a piece, but the question is it enough for me? Is it enough? Okay, what is an alternative solution? Does it make sense to go f4? I mean, in case rook goes here, I can also capture. I have got also this square. You know what? I will just play it. I do not see a way how opponent can punish me for doing that. This one, or directly here? Capture or not to capture? I think I was watching once like the Wall Street movie, and the main character, he used to say greed is good, so let's just capture that pawn. And what? Rook e7. I'm trying to exchange rook that is on the 7th rank. I hope I was not too greedy. Okay, so rook captures e7, knight captures e7. I'm up a pawn. I'm down on time. I do not see any direct threats that opponent can create to me. Okay, queen b5. So opponent is really trying to, capture my knight, attacking d5. My queen is lucky that it protects it here. So what can I do? If I capture, queen captures, I also have to pay attention to that pass pawn. And later maybe knight to d8. Knight to d8, and I can maneuver it later here. It does make sense. Okay, so this is one candidate move. What else I can do? I wish I can sacrifice here and queen goes there, attacking a lot of things, but opponent can simply just go back. So I do not think that it works. If I capture, queen captures, I also have to protect it somehow. So it looks like my first idea looks best for me. Okay, queen d7. So obviously opponent is trying to push that pawn forward. The question is, can I stop it somehow? If I move I wish I can move my knight to e6. But after this move, white plays e6. Okay, I have to admit that pawn at the e is more dangerous than I expected this is gonna be. So what after knight f7, e6? Knight g5. No, it doesn't work. In the worst case, I can sacrifice my knight, but of course I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose my knight in this position. But okay, so how can I stop that pawn from being promoted? Knight f7, e6, knight g5. Now it doesn't help. Maybe I can move my queen back. Queen a3, e6. I cannot control e7. This is the problem. Maybe an idea would be to go queen to c4, e6, and offer an exchange. Okay, I don't see anything better, and I'm below 2 minutes, so I think I'll try this one. And now queen to c6. After this move, I can exchange queens. This is the only way I see how can I stop that pawn from being promoted. After knight e5, I can capture that pawn at the e6. The question is, do I stop that pawn forever, or do I just stop it, just for the couple next moves? Okay, so now I think I can take it. Takes. Okay, and opponent will try to, and what, knight c6? I don't see any other way. If I go knight c6, rook e8. Yeah, let's go knight c6. d8 doesn't work. Rook takes f8 doesn't work. Knight takes f5, I will take it. Maybe it's not that bad as I thought that it was. After, okay, here I will of course, no, there is knight d6. This is the problem. I thought I can take it, but there is knight d6. Completely missed that idea. And I think I'm in trouble, very serious trouble, Okay, let's just push that pawn forward. I think this is my last chance. That pawn will force opponent to do something, because after this move, I go here, takes, knight goes there, I move it forward, d8, takes, knight captures, I play a3, it's too far. So opponent cannot completely ignore the pass pawn that is moving forward on the queen side. So the question is how opponent is going to react. Opponent can move the rook back. I will play it probably rook to d8, trying to get rid of that pawn from d7. Also, I'm below 1 minute. Yeah, okay. What else opponent can play? Knight d6. King g8 is the only legal move that does make some sense. What else opponent can play? Rook goes back. I will just go here. Ah no, or just simply rook to d8. Although maybe rook a8 wouldn't be that terrible. No, but I think it's more important to get rid of that pass pawn. Okay. As I prepared king to g8. So let's play it here. I set up pre-move to take it back. Okay, opponent's time is also not that great. Opponent probably thought, okay, rook c8. And now what? If I go there, if I take it, opponent promotes. So looks that I have got no other choice but to go there. Rook a8, I play knight e6, rook takes a5, I play rook d8, and I will try to bring my king closer. Or after this, yeah, okay, let's play here. Knight c6 was also an option, but maybe let's try this one. d4 is hanging, but d7 is definitely more important. But I don't think it's good for the opponent. If I go there, what opponent is going to do? And now I will take it here first. Rook takes d6. Okay, now I can just bring my king closer, of course. Okay, want to move my king to the d5 square, so it blocks. So it blocks that pawn. Let's play h5. Our position is quite drawish probably. Let's go here. So king has to go back. I will offer a draw at this position. Oh, this is of course completely draw. What opponent is playing for the time? Opponent is trying to flag me. Okay, rook against the rook, of course, it's not something that... Oh, of course, I send a draw offer. Okay, my opponent accepts. Okay. Okay, so I have to see, you have to see that, okay, I survived opponent's attack somehow. To be honest, when I saw that pass pawn, I thought that this is gonna be a big trouble, but okay, but it worked, right? So I'm very happy to see that. Okay, so I hope that during this video you could see how does international master thing during the game. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, at the bottom of the screen, you can also see a couple useful websites that you can get free ebooks, and you can learn a lot of things about the opening repertoire, about the tactics and blunders, how to stop making blunders, and how to create the plan. So I recommend you to visit those websites and get those free ebooks. Hope you will enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching today, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye.